We let go of past, we let go of future, and in just the being here as the timeless being, the connection is in the field as one radiant being, one heart, one love. When we let go of past and our attachment to past and our connection to fear that is so enormous when we are connected to past, we discover the true reality of our own nature, which is love. And love in its true essence is an openness, an all-inclusivity, an all-encompassing, welcoming frequency that knows no other, knows no difference, only knows itself. And so true love is the frequency of the all that is, where there's no sense of division, nor has there ever been a sense of time that divides, space that divides. Of course, in that then thoughts, ideas, concepts that divide they're made of love, but they are not the frequency of the fullness of love. They are a part, let's say, a seeming part where consciousness identifies itself as a point and believes that it is divided from wholeness, divided from love. Believes is the key word here, because the belief doesn't actually ever divide, right? Any amount of belief, however strong a story is, however powerful the concepts are, however deep a seeming trauma is, nothing has ever divided the one reality of love. Nothing has ever divided the divine light. The purity, the innocence is intact, and it has always been so in the timeless presence of now. So it is here we join. It is here we join, here we gather in the light of our own heart's knowing of this truth, in the Christ light, in the light of the glory, the undivided reality is where we join, where we gather, where we meet in the field that is one timeless whole, in the love that we are. Everything that we are up to is always about this. It's always about love's technology revealing the ways that love masquerades, the ways that God wears disguises, but revealing that however life is presenting with division or fear or lack, that the division is never a reality. And that when we are anchored in the knowing that division is not a reality, that it's impossible to be divided from God, from love. We realize in the frequency of that absolute impossibility what the absolute actually is. The absolute is an unquestionable impossibility of anything other than the one glorious whole. So the lived experience can sometimes feel like it is very real in its division, in its stresses, in its intensity, in its limitation. And our mission in this human life is to undivide the life and to remember at a frequency of remembrance what has always been so, and to use the power of our knowing, of the heart's knowing, to illuminate and include everything in our experience that feels to be divided or lacking. That we have this incredible, powerful capacity in our heart's knowing to reorganize and repattern the field of our own consciousness. We have capacity beyond what we could even imagine at this point in our evolution and unfolding. We have incredible, incredible capacity. And yet our belief in limitation limits our capacity. There is no limit to our capacity. We are incredibly refined beings, very, very refined beings of light. And we have so much capacity. You know, when we hear about refined beings, beings that we may hear that are out there in the universes that are more refined than us, what that's really revealing to us is not even that there's other. It's showing us our capacity, like where our interest is peaked in greater refinement, where our interest, where we come alive with these possibilities. It's because that is the capacity that we have. It's reflecting to us and igniting and enlivening the intelligence that we are. It's not, you see, from a sense of fear and division, we might have the thought, oh, I wish I could be refined like that, or like I'll never be, you know, refined in that way. I'll never be, right? So this density of the blanket of our humanness can be a heavy one. The heavy blanket of our humanity and the collective consciousness of humanity at this time is in the process of a profound evolution to actually start to resonate at a frequency of its true capacity. The belief in density is just that, a belief. And what we come to realize is that belief is not reality. And if we stay in allegiance to the belief in density and lack, smallness, misery, if we pitch our success in such mediocre ways as we do as humans, if we pitch our success, you know, in such mediocrity, then of course our lives will be a fulfillment of our belief in lack, our belief in powerlessness, our belief in hopelessness. But if we pitch the possibility of this life beyond our wildest imaginings, in the infinite field of possibility, that we are incredibly refined, divine beings. And it's about revealing and releasing our belief in lack and division multidimensionally, so we can truly start to operate in the ways of refined frequency. Sometimes the word higher self gets used for the self, the one self. The being of light that we are, the refined divine being that we are, the fullness of the intelligence that we are. So our gathering serves to ignite the frequencies of the intelligence within us that we are made of, that already know and recognize that we have a greater possibility than what we are living. So we can really open to the dimensionality, the brilliance, and the radiance that we are actually here to be. That we discover that the fulfillment that we are longing for, the success that we're somehow deeply driven towards, isn't a material success. True success is to feel absolutely unquestionably fulfilled within our pure potentiality of what we are actually here to achieve in this lifetime, right? And it's not achievement in the way that the mind imagines. It's about actually being the one that you are here to be. And of course, we can feel the resonance that we will not feel fulfilled all the way through multidimensionally unless we are rooted, grounded, and radiating the full potentiality of what we are here for, what we have come here for, right? So it's like we connect to the frequency of our true divine mission, right? Sometimes I speak of this, the shine mission, the mission to shine the light of the glory in this heart and to live out the divine mission in our radiant human experience, to actually find out what is the capacity in this human life, that we're here for that exploration. And if we let go of the limitations that we put upon what is possible, and we allow ourselves to receive, we could say, the love of God, receive our true frequency wiring template as the child of God, and we allow that to be activated in the life, then we start to open to the kind of possibility that we are actually longing for. So then, as these words come, it's just to notice. Part of the dharma of this vehicle is to be an igniter, right? To be the fire, to ignite and enliven where the frequencies are ready to come online and to join and to actually embody the light, to actually embody the frequency of reality in this lifetime, and to find out what is possible, to let go of hanging out in the departure lounge and to actually take flight into the fullness of what this life is all about. So as we gather what we are being carried through, our field is an emergent field, right? Our field is ever fresh. Our field is always at its evolutionary edge. And when we join and are willing to be living at the evolutionary edge, we're constantly being invited to surf the evolutionary edge, and to be opening to greater possibility and capacity. And much of that can be seeing through the ways that we limit our lived experience, right? To join together in the frequencies that feel like the reality of love, of the reality of connection, the reality of true creative intelligence, the reality of joining and living at this frequency that feels so enlivening and so deeply nourishing, to allow ourselves to belong, to let go of the ways that we keep ourselves safe, divided, isolated, and that we enter into a field of divine belonging where we activate and ignite each other in a field where we find a sense of belonging that is fearless, where we love each other, where we share and we join and gather in this frequency field where we're open and willing to surf the edges and to allow the holding patterns and energies to release, so that we can experience the fullness of what we are more deeply, more widely, more fully, in more refined ways than we could have ever imagined. Yeah. So this is what we're up to. This is what we have been up to. And the divine takes great joy when we gather, whether we gather in person or we gather here online. The divine takes great joy of a sense of, oh, okay, here's an incredible possibility. Here's a possibility. And, as we speak of, if we take one step towards the divine leaps towards us. And if we open our heart with an almighty yes, the divine fills it, right? If we ask for guidance and support, it's right here, right? There's nothing actually elusive about the divine, but it's about allowing ourselves to come into the remembrance of a true communion, what we truly belong to, and to actually receive the love, the grace, the guidance, the support, and to, in a way, let the life be a living experiment of what is it to be in constant communion and to discover what is possible